My full focus in everything that I do right now in my life is purpose. I believe that every man and every person in life needs to live with purpose. And I'm really big on purpose. And I think that if we don't have purpose and we don't love what we're doing, then we're going to feel empty. We're never going to feel fulfilled. I just always felt like I wasn't good enough and I felt insecure. So that kind of drove me to want to be more and to obviously want to take care of my mom. If I'm not naturally as good as everyone else at all these things, I'm going to make myself as good at them. Even if what I was doing wasn't a real business per se, like it's selling vapes, it's not a real business, but it did teach me a lot about business and about marketing. And it kind of got me started and showed me that it's possible. Like I was making $70,000 a month by the time I was 17. And I think just knowing that, everyone around me telling me, oh my gosh, you're making so much money. Like you're so set as a 17-year-old, you have it all figured out. And like I had nothing figured out. Even now I have nothing figured out. I learn more every single day, you know? Instead of grabbing the money, he just grabbed the gun, like put it straight to my forehead. And I just looked at him and I was like, bro, just take everything and get out of my car. Like I was so upset with myself. When you do something that God doesn't want you doing, he can take it all from you in an instant. Do whatever you want in life. Like it literally does not matter. Everyone will try to tell you an opinion of some sort. They're going to try to tell you that you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to live some way. And if you try to live to please everyone else, you're never going to please yourself. You're always going to be at war with yourself. And I would rather be at war with the world than at war with myself.
Yes, welcome to a new episode of the podcast Muscle Up. This is episode 9 of season 6. It's the last episode with a guest, but we'll introduce the guest in a bit. Thank you for the support. Leave us a 5-star review if you like the content. Without further ado, how are you doing?
My name is Mees Jansen.
Oh yeah, my name is Jimpy Stoner.
I'm doing great. It's actually our last day in Bali.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to going home, but it is what it is. And we can now record our final episode of the season, so that's nice.
Not the final.
The
Semi-final.
Semi-final.
Yeah, we've got one more.
Yeah, the last episode with a guest.
Yeah.
The timing was actually perfect. I met you yesterday at the run club, and you told me a little bit about your story, and I thought it just had to be this way. That's nice. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. A little bit tired. Not looking forward to our flight. We've got a 5.5-hour flight, then 6.5-hour overlay, and then I figured out it was 12-hour flight back. The way home is longer, so it's 12 hours. But yeah, so be it. And for the rest, I'm doing okay, I would say. How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal, bro.
Yeah?
Feeling good, yeah.
What's your name?
Leaf, like on a tree, L-E-A-F. Yeah.
Nice. Welcome in the podcast, man.
Thank you, brother. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I think we can start with the main question, right? Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Leaf, like on a tree. I was named by my brother. That's why I have a weird name. My parents didn't like the name that they came up with my brother Taylor, so they let him name me. And so I was named by a 7-year-old. That's why I got a weird name. A lot of people think it's like some Viking name or something, but no, it's just I was named by a kid. My name is Leaf, and my full focus and everything that I do right now in my life is purpose. Like, okay, so I'll just give you a background, not like what I do or who I am is kind of vague, right? Like, who are you? What do you do? A lot of people talk about, I'm 20 years old. I'm from Washington State in the United States. I'm in marketing, like, yeah, whatever. I believe that every man and every person in life needs to live with purpose. And I'm really big on purpose. And I think that if we don't have purpose and we don't love what we're doing, then we're going to feel empty. We're never going to feel fulfilled. The whole point of life is to give back to the world and to create more than what we came here with. Like, we want to leave the world with more than what we are and more than what we came here with, leave something behind after us. And that's my whole point in life. Like, I want to just do that every single day. So that's who I am.
How did you come to this mindset?
So I grew up, my mom always took very, very good care of my brothers and I. She was very loving and always made sure we were taken care of no matter what, even when we didn't have a lot of money. She would work from home and she'd work like all day, every day. And so I wanted to take care of my mom and I wanted to make money for my mom. And then I started making money very, very young, but I kind of lost sight of it because I was doing something I didn't really believe in. And in doing that, I noticed that I slowly started to fizzle out of like why I started doing it in the first place. So I started doing it to make money to take care of my mom. And then I noticed that when I was doing something I didn't believe in, I felt empty and I felt like I had to fill it with all these vices. So I started like filling it with whatever it was, with lust, with chasing pleasure, junk food, porn, cheating on my girlfriend, like all these horrible things to try to fill this void of not feeling like enough and feeling like there's something missing in my life. And in doing all those things, I kind of started to lose sight of why I was doing it in the first place. And I had just this experience where I felt completely empty, and I was making a bunch of money at what I thought would make me happy, but I felt horrible. And then I was like, okay, there has to be something more than this. And that's kind of what started it. And it wasn't like overnight. Like it was a long process, where it was a year and a half of just trying to figure myself out every single day. And over time, I was kind of able to find my purpose and find that I think we're all created. I think human beings are created to create things. I think every human, the core of all human existence is creation. We were all created here for a reason, but created by a creator, and we're here to create things. And a lot of people just consume. And when you're only consuming, or when you're not doing the thing that you know you need to be doing and creating, then you want to consume, and you start to feel empty. And so that kind of is what started everything, like just having that feeling of emptiness. And I went down that rabbit hole of trying to find what made me feel fulfilled long term, not short term, because so many things make you feel fulfilled short term. Like you can watch porn and you feel fulfilled in an instant. You can eat junk food and you feel fulfilled in an instant. There's so many things that you can do, like even listening to music. Like it's not a bad thing, but it makes you feel fulfilled short term. But what makes you feel fulfilled long term, like throughout your entire life? And then I kind of just went down that rabbit hole, and that's what started me on. Now I'm like obsessed with living with purpose.
Do you think it's the society we live in is built to consume instead of create?
Now it is, yeah. I don't think we're meant to. Like I don't think we're supposed to be consuming all the time. But I think the society we live in now, it is so easy to consume. Everything is, because there's so many people that create now, it's so easy to consume as well. So it's a double-edged sword, because everyone creates things, but someone has to consume the thing you're creating. And if you're not careful, you can only consume and never create. I think consuming is fine. We have to consume. We have to eat food. We have to drink water. We have to learn from other people in life. Consuming is normal. But when you only consume and you overconsume, that's when it becomes a problem. And I think now it's just easier than ever to consume because it's so available all around us.
And did you figure this mindset out yourself, or create a sort of philosophy yourself, or did you had someone who laid out the path for you?
I think it's kind of laid out by a ton of people. Everything that I've ever experienced in my life has had some sort of an impact on what I believe and what I know. But the philosophy that I kind of created myself is, if we create amazing things and give great value to the world, we'll be greatly rewarded for it, whether monetarily, emotionally, whatever it is. We are rewarded in return for what we do for the world. So like if you provide amazing value through this podcast, you guys make money from it one way or another. You're going to end up getting rewarded for it. And when you take that money and you use it to create more amazing things and provide more great value to the world, then you get rewarded more and you make more money from it. And you keep repeating that process. So you create and give great value to the world, get greatly rewarded, use that reward to create and give great value to the world, and to repeat that process over and over again. That's kind of like my philosophy that I live by now. But what went into creating that philosophy is, every person I've ever talked to and every experience I've ever had. So it's like, it's my own, but it's also from everything that I've ever learned,
To go back to the beginning, before you started making money, who were you then? Who was Leaf?
I was pretty insecure growing up. I was an overweight kid, and all of my friends were more athletic than me. I always thought all of my friends are so good at every sport they do. They're all so athletic. Like I'm not good enough. I'm not naturally good at things like all of my friends are. And so it made me really gritty. Like I was like, if I'm not naturally as good as everyone else at all these things, I'm going to make myself as good at them, by just working harder than anyone else. And so I got a lot of grit really young. Like I just wanted to be better because all my friends were so good at sports. I was smart naturally in school, but I just always felt like I wasn't good enough and I felt insecure. So that kind of drove me to want to be more and to obviously want to take care of my mom. I've always been very creative. Like I love creating things my whole life. The thought of being able to make something out of nothing. Like if there was nothing, it's a blank slate, there's nothing there. And I can build something and create something that never would have existed if I wouldn't have created it. That is awesome to me. Like I just love the idea of being able to create things out of nothing. So yeah, I've always been into creation. I've always had a lot of drive to be more and to do more, and having grit to become something when I wasn't naturally good at things. I think like when you work very, very hard and you dedicate yourself to something, it's much more important than talent. I think talent is very important, of course, but I think talent is one of those things like you can make it. If you work hard enough, you make yourself talented. People will be like, oh, you're so good at that. How are you so naturally good at whatever it is, how are you so naturally good at soccer? It's like, not naturally good at it. I've been doing it for 20 years, Not me, I don't play soccer, but
yeah,
if football, whatever.
True. Do you think being not as athletic or not as good as the others was necessary for you to create your work ethic?
Not necessarily, no. I think it helped, but I don't think it was... I think I would have done it one way or another, especially with my mom. Like seeing my mom work 16 hours a day, all day, every day. And like there would be times she would skip meals so my brothers and I could eat. We would go and like volunteer at the local food bank, volunteer, and we'd go, help with sorting the food and packaging stuff and giving out food to people and everything just so we could get food. So like if you volunteered, you'd be able to get food from the food bank. And we did that for a little bit. And just seeing that, like that flipped a switch in me, to where I don't want to see my mom have to live like this forever. And I don't want my mom to not be able to live the life that she wants to live. Like I want her to be able to travel the world, do whatever she wants with her time, never have to worry about money again. If I have the money to do whatever she wants, if she wants to help people and go travel and take care of people, whatever she wants to do, if she wants to start a business or start like a hobby that doesn't necessarily make money, but she wants to build something, like I just want her to never have to worry about that ever. And that kind of fired me up to the point where I don't think, even if I was naturally good at, sports or anything growing up, like I think that definitely affected me and helped. But that's really my main driving factor. And that's why I still work like so much now, because I don't want to ever leave anything untapped or leave anything on the table.
And if you move on to your first business, could you explain us a little bit what you did and how you did it?
Yeah, so I started a bunch of different businesses and didn't really make any money from them, like growing up. Like when I was 11, I started a cologne line because my mom, she had a candle company. It's a very small candle company. Didn't make a lot of money, but it was enough. She basically would work from home because she had to stay home to take care of us and watch us. But she needed to make money as well. She couldn't work a job because she needed someone to watch us and take care of us. She didn't make enough money to pay for daycare. And she wanted to be there with us. So she started a candle business to work from home. She had these essential oils, and she helped me like start my own cologne line. So I made like colognes, and I would just sell them to people, but no one bought them besides my mom and my 6th grade teacher. He bought one as well. So like that was cool. That was like my first taste of business. And I've always been obsessed with business, but I tried everything. Like drop shipping, e-commerce, crypto, day trading, affiliate marketing, whatever. Like you name it, I tried all the things. Nothing worked, bro. I didn't make any money from it. I always tried to. I always wanted to make money online. The first thing I ever actually made money from, like real money, I actually sold puff bars, like nicotine vapes, which I do not believe in at all. Like I'm very against that. And that's kind of what also tied into my finding purpose and like realizing that whatever I do, I want to do with purpose, and I want to provide value to the world and help people. Because if I'm making money, the whole point in making money is so I can help people. And if I'm not helping people by making the money, then it defeats the entire purpose. And so I was selling these nicotine vapes when I was 15, 16. That was when I first started making real money. And it definitely taught me a lot, because like, even if what I was doing wasn't a real business per se, like it's selling vapes, it's not a real business, but it did teach me a lot about business and about marketing. And it kind of got me started and showed me that it's possible. Showed me like I can make money, even if this is not the type of business I want to be running, it's possible. And then I realized I do not want to be. I actually ended up losing all of the money I ever made from that. I got robbed, lost everything. And I was like, okay, so making money the wrong way definitely doesn't work. I still had to learn my lesson again. So then I went and started another business, did something else that I didn't believe in. I did promotions on social media. That was the second business that ever made me real money. Basically promoting people on Snapchat. We promoted like cryptocurrency coins, like meme coins, promote people that sell shoes. And we also promoted cannabis, which again, I'm not real into cannabis. Like I don't smoke it myself. I don't think it's intrinsically bad. If you smoke weed, whatever, go ahead, but it's not for me. And I don't like want to be promoting something that I don't personally believe in. It wasn't medicinal cannabis. It was like, the weed brands, the disposable brands and stuff like that. So I don't really believe in that. But I started making a lot of money from that as well when I was like 17. And we weren't like selling it. We were literally just making videos, like talking about it. And we would promote it and post it on social media. And so I started making a lot of money from that as well. And then same thing. I was like, started to lose all my money from it and just felt completely empty. I was like, this feels horrible. That's when I started to kind of fill the void with vices and kind of lost sight. Like the whole reason I was making money was for my mom. But now I'm spending all my money rather than giving it to my mom, trying to fill vices and like spending money on clothes. Like I would go spend $10,000 on clothes just because to like try to make myself feel good because I felt so empty. Or just go out to eat and like spend a bunch of money on food, fill the void, Obviously it was like dinners with my team, with my friends, whatever. But still, like I was trying to fill the void with things that would bring me this instant gratification, spending a ton of money, and that like makes your dopamine fire, But the only reason I needed that was because I didn't have the deeper purpose, and I didn't really love what I was actually doing. And so both of my first businesses, I made a lot of money from them. The puffs, obviously, the nicotine vapes wasn't really a legit business, but like made money from both of them, lost all the money I made from both of them. And then I started my third business, which was like my first real business that I believed in. And that's what I'm still running now. And that's the one that fires me up. And I haven't lost all my money from that one. So
Nice, not yet.
The goal is I don't lose all the money from this one.
Yeah.
I think third time's the charm.
If you go back to the first business, the nicotine bars,
Yeah.
how did you roll into that one?
So everyone was doing it. It was like a high school thing, or like high school. Everyone in the high school was selling them. You know, like it was just a little side hustle thing. All the kids got into it, and I was like, dude, I can do this better than everyone else. I saw everyone else selling the nicotine vapes, and I was like, all these people are stupid. Like they don't know business. You know, like they're selling vapes and it's working. They're making money from it, but I can do business better than these people. I can market better. And so I just started doing it, and I would actually market it like a business, and I made it fun. Like I made it different where people would want to buy from me, not anyone else. So like it sounds funny because it's nicotine vapes, but I would like run specials, I would run deals, I would like post stuff on my Snapchat story where I would sell them and like engage with people and make it a brand. You know, I literally made like a brand out of it. And so of course it's a terrible thing. Like I do not condone selling nicotine vapes, but I was doing it in a way that was more business focused and like building an actual brand and marketing it properly. And I would do specials, and I would be like, you know, for the election, I remember one time I was like, if you voted, send me proof that you voted, or like just tell me that you voted and you get like a discount, you know? And so people were so fired up over the election. That was like the Biden and Trump election. People were so fired up over that. And it was like such a big thing that it created a lot of buzz when I posted that. Like, I didn't care who you voted for. It didn't matter to me, but like it made a ton of sales, you know? And everyone else was just like trying to sell them as a commodity. Everyone was commoditized, competing over the best price. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make myself different in this market. And that's why I kind of learned a lot of business about it, because obviously, again, like I said, it's not a proper business, whatever. It was like something I was doing as a kid, but it definitely taught me a lot about marketing and taught me that like, okay, you can differentiate yourself in a market, even if you're selling the same thing as everyone else. So
I've got a question about the emptiness.
yeah,
You said that you had an emptiness because you didn't have purpose, but I think a lot of kids, especially in puberty, experience a life without purpose because they're still figuring out who they are.
yeah.
Do you think that the emptiness truly came from that or from something else?
I mean, I think it was amplified because I was still very young and going, you know, puberty and hormones and everything as a kid. I think it amplifies it like times 10, you know? But I also think, like I was making $70,000 a month by the time I was 17. So it was a little bit more intense than like what most 17-year-olds go through and what most 17-year-olds experience. And I think just knowing that, everyone around me telling me, oh my gosh, you're making so much money. Like you're so set as a 17-year-old. You have it all figured out. When like I had nothing figured out. Even now I have nothing figured out. I learn more every single day, you know? It's the whole point of life. But like when everyone around you is telling you that you have it all figured out and you're like, I have nothing figured out and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I hate what I'm doing. Like I don't believe in what I'm doing at all. And like I was unhealthy. Again, like filling myself with vices every single day. Just always searching for something to fill this void, which everyone has in some way or another, especially as a kid. But just having it amplified that much and telling myself like, when I make a lot of money, I will be happy. And then making all that money and being at the point where I said I would make me happy. Like I told myself, when I'm making $10,000, $20,000 a month, I'll be happy. And now I'm making $70,000 a month and I felt horrible. And I think being sad when you have no money is like, you have hope that if I make money or, you know, if I make myself successful, then I'll be happy. But when you are sad and you have money, you have what you said would make you happy, you're just hopeless. And being hopeless is like a very, very dark feeling. Because I was like, there's nothing that can make me feel happy right now. Obviously there was. It was purpose. But I didn't know that. It was like, all in my mind was just like, I have the thing I said would make me happy and I'm not happy. What do I do now? And that was a horrible feeling. And so, yeah, I think everyone kind of is going to go through some sort of feeling of lack of purpose as a kid, especially. But I think it just amplified it even more. Because I did one of the things that so many kids dream of doing that a lot of times they never accomplish, or they don't accomplish until much, much later in life. And I did it so early that I think it just sped up that process for me.
And if you continue to the moment where you did feel purpose, that switch, can you take us with you?
Yeah, it wasn't really an overnight thing. It was a long process of figuring it out. So like February of 2022 was I took my family on a vacation to Mexico, paid for everyone, got us a private villa on the beach, like whole thing, and had every reason to be happy. And that was like when it hit me. I was like, I'm here in Mexico on this vacation with my family and I feel horrible. And I just hate my life. Like every day for a month, I felt like I needed to kill myself. I was like, that's literally how my mind thought. And I'm not like that. I'm not suicidal. I'm not typically like very negative or anything. I'm always upbeat and positive. And I was like, there's no way out of this. Like I am just empty and I'm stuck and there's no way out. That's how it felt. And it wasn't instant. Like I'd slowly over the next year wanted to get more into focusing on myself and on fitness and whatever. It wasn't until January of 2023, almost a whole year later, where I was like, okay, I am fully focusing on just getting better and being a better version of myself. And so I started taking my fitness very seriously. That was like the first step, like eating healthier and getting locked in with my fitness and my health I think that's a very good foundation. You know, if you aren't sure what to do with your life, you aren't sure where to go, just start working on yourself, your character, and your health. And so that's what I did. I just started spending all my time doing that. So like January to June of 2023 was like very focused on just getting my health in check. And then after June, I started to focus more on my character, and I started to try to get closer with God. And I began reading the Bible. And I'm not very like strict Christian, because I think a lot of Christians are very judgmental. You know, if you're Christian, whatever. I'm not against Christianity at all. I believe in Christ, and I read the Bible, but I don't typically go to church because I think religion just separates people, you know. But I just want to get closer with God. Like, what was my definition of God? And it was just a long process. Like all of 2023, all the way to 2024 was a process of figuring it out. It was no overnight switch. I think the biggest one day that was a big, big switch for me was I had been struggling for lust for a long time. That's like a big vice a lot of men have. And I cut out, throughout 2023, I cut out porn, I cut out masturbation, but I was still cheating on my girlfriend. It was very weird. Like I cut out porn, cut out masturbation, but for some reason I was still cheating on my girlfriend. Like I could justify that. I don't know if it was because it was like with a real woman to me, but I wouldn't completely cut it out. And there was this night, it was January, I believe it was January 11th, 2024. And I hooked up with this girl that I had been talking to for a long time. And usually, like, guys get whatever, they get post-nut clarity, right? And like afterwards, you like regret it. But this time, it was during it. Like the whole time, I was just thinking to myself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Like, God does not want me doing this right now. There's something else that I'm meant to be doing and giving my gift to the world, and I'm wasting my time by being here. And the next morning, I woke up and I ran my first marathon, and like that was the day that it kind of like switched. After that, I went like celibate, like didn't struggle with lust at all. I read my Bible way more. I really, really focused on like building my business, building myself, and really dialed in. And I'm not like against sex at all, by the way. Like, you do whatever you want. But I think if you're like controlled by it, like if it's you're a slave to it, that's when it's a problem. And I was a slave to it for sure. So that was like the day that kind of switched, but I wouldn't say it was a switch. Like a lot of people expect it to just be an overnight, like wake up one day and, oh, I'm a changed man. It's really just a process of every single day. You make mistakes, and I would still go back and make mistakes, and it was just a process of figuring it out.
It's nice. It's a good story. And to take us with you in your first business or your third business that you're running now,
Yeah.
What do you do?
So that was when I figured out and I realized that like humans are created to create, and like I feel purpose in creation. If I can create things, I feel very happy and I feel great all the time. So I was like, okay, I want to create a business around creating somehow. So I started a creative agency. So basically what we do is we create creative marketing material for businesses. Logos, websites, social media management, video ads. Our main focus is video ads. So we basically script, film, edit video ads completely for businesses. And it's fun because you get to be creative. You get to create something out of nothing. Like, this is a brand, a logo that we're creating for a business that would have never existed if we didn't create it. Same thing with the video ads we get to create. And our whole thing with video ads is out of the box video ads. So like our logo is a dolphin jumping out of a box. We like to make videos that are different. They stand out. They're fun. They're wild. I think if you can make people feel understood and entertained at the same time, they'll buy something. And so that's our whole focus with our ads and with our marketing. And underline on that, so the company's called Vance. My last name is Vance. We make ads, and we advance businesses. So it's like a play on words. But our internal company culture is advance each day. So like, not only are we a marketing company, but we have a very, very deep company culture. And like, I'm very big on pushing my team to be better every single day. We're very encouraging to our clients. Like when we text our clients, we're not boring, just like, hey, I want to check in, whatever. We're like upbeat, fired up. We say like, let's get it, let's go. Like we get very excited. And I just like to push that energy all around me all the time. And I encourage people in everything I do. So like with our team, whenever people come on our team, we encourage them to start training, take their health seriously, take their spirituality seriously, take their business seriously. Like I want them to be the best in every realm of their lives. And so like one of our team members, Elle, she came on our team and she was not really into fitness or training or anything like that. And now she's like running half marathons every weekend and she's like super into training. All because when she joined, I was like, yo, you should start working out and focusing on your health more and you'll feel better. And it'll make you work better too. And so that's what fires me up, is like being able to build a team around that. And then, yeah, creating for our clients. So now being able to create things for all of our clients feels much more fulfilling. And we only work with clients that I really, really want to work with. Like I work with people that I know we're going to be able to help grow and that their business is leaving a positive impact on their clients. Because like before we were, doing promotions, kind of similar. Like I was doing promotions, but it was for the cannabis companies. And that I just didn't believe in. Like I didn't believe in the clients I was promoting. And why would I want to push something out into the world that I don't believe in when the whole point of making the money is to push out the things that I do believe in, you know? So now I only want to push out the things that I believe in and earn money from that, and then use that money to go push out more stuff that I believe in and create more things I believe in.
How did you came up with this idea to start
the creative agency?
Yeah.
So it was kind of based on, because I had been doing the previous company for the cannabis. Is this okay? It was kind of based on because I had been doing the previous company for the cannabis. So we were doing videos on Snapchat and TikTok basically, and I just built up the experience of making videos like all day, every day. I'd literally film like 20 videos a day, all day, every day, from the time I started that company for like 2 years while I ran it basically. And I knew I was really good at videos. I was like, I can come up with video ideas. I can formulate people's brands and ideas into something that the viewer can understand. And I've always been really good at that. I've always been like really fired up on camera as well. Like when we film the ads, I can just snap into it like on a beat. And so I was like, okay, I want to do something with this. I want to do something with the video aspect and keep it similar because I know I'm really good at it. And I want to work with businesses because I like working with businesses more. I think the more value you provide people, the more money you make. And it's very easy to provide a lot of value to businesses. If they're already making a lot of money, you can make them more money, you know? And I wanted to surround myself with those types of people. I was like, if all my clients are business owners, then I'll learn from them. So like, okay, I want to do something in a similar realm. And when I started, it was just logos and branding. Like it wasn't really a clear vision. I think a lot of people think you have to have this clear vision to start. It's not always a clear vision. Like Amazon started selling only books, you know? So I was selling just logos to start. And I had one graphic designer that worked with me and we designed the logos together. And then slowly over time, I was like, okay, I want to focus more on the videos. And I really enjoy making the videos. And I think that's what can make us stand out. And so over time, it just focused more and more on that. And that's like our core focus now is people know us for making crazy ads. So yeah, it wasn't an overnight thing. Again, it's like, it's all a process, you know, kind of figuring it out as we go. I think that's life.
True.
To go a little bit more back to the beginning, because you had a few companies who either failed or you lost all the money.
Yeah.
How did you stay motivated after that?
If I didn't do it, no one else was going to. That's it. Like, I remember, okay, so I'll tell the story about how I got robbed. It's pretty crazy, actually. So when I was selling the nicotine vapes, right, I met this guy. My whole goal was, like, get $100,000 and then stop. Because I knew I didn't want to be doing it. I knew it was wrong. I was like, I don't want to be selling nicotine vapes. I don't believe in this. I need to get out of it. And this guy came to me, and this is a crazy story. This guy came to me, and he was like, hey, for $47,000, I can get 3 kilos of cocaine. And I'll flip them. I'll sell them for you. I'll give you back 100,000. I'll keep 50,000. We'll make 150,000 from it. And, you know, I'll give you the 100,000 for giving me the money, but I'll sell them. And I was like, that sounds horrible. I don't want to sell cocaine, but my goal is to get 100,000, so let's do it. And I had $49,000 to my name. I gave him 47,000, and then I never saw the money again. And like, I'm very, very glad. Like, I'm incredibly grateful that I lost that money because one, it taught me that lesson with $47,000, not 47 million. Like later in my life, I'd much rather learn that lesson earlier. And two, I do not want to have money from that. Like, I don't want my money to come from something like that. I think wealth gained hastily will dwindle. It talks about that in the Bible, and I think that's an incredibly true thing. And I didn't believe that for a while. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm making money from doing something I don't believe in. I'm making money from something that doesn't necessarily bring me purpose or provide value to the world, but I'm making money from it. So whatever it says in the Bible, like, that can't be true. And the thing is, it's not that you can't make money from doing something negative. You can. It'll just dwindle. It'll go away eventually. And so that's one of the best things that ever happened to me. I gave him $47,000, never saw the money again. I had basically $49,000 to my name. I had a car payment. That was car payment and insurance included was $1,500. So I basically had 1 month of expenses left to my name, $2,000. And I was like, if I don't make any money in the next month, I'm screwed. And then I had one order of like product inventory coming in that was worth like $3,000. And I had like $7,000 of inventory currently, right? So I lost the $47,000. I have $2,000 cash now. $7,000 of inventory. And in the same week, one of my people that buys the nicotine vapes from me messages me. He says he wants to buy all the stuff that I have. He's like, hey, I just want to do a big order. He's bought from me like twice in the past, but never anything this big. And I was a little bit sketched out because I knew the guy was kind of shady. Like, I'd heard stories about him robbing people and stuff. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. But I knew something in my gut was telling me, you know, it's not good. And then I went and I met with him. And every time we had met in the past, he would pull his money out of like his right pocket and count it out and pay me, right? And we pull up and he gets in the car and he reaches in his right pocket to like pull the money out. And instead of grabbing the money, he just grabbed the gun, like put it straight to my forehead. And I was just like, I couldn't do anything but just like sit there like dumbfounded. You know, I just thought to myself, I knew this was going to happen and I had a feeling about it in my gut. And I just looked at him and I was like, bro, just take everything and get out of my car. Like I was so upset with myself and with everything. I was just like, I knew it was going to happen. And it was scary too, like looking straight down the barrel of a gun. And I had my friend with me as well. I brought my friend because I told him, I was like, hey, this guy wants to buy everything. But I know he's kind of a sketchy guy. So can you bring some guns just in case so we can make sure like we don't get robbed? And so my friend has 2 guns in the back seat. And like I told him bring them so we can be ready for it. But the thing is when the guy pulled the gun so fast on my face, like my friend couldn't really do anything because if he pulled a gun, I probably wouldn't be here telling this story, you know? So it was a little bit problematic. Yeah, it sucked. And they took all the stuff. So now I have $2,000 to my name and $3,000 worth of product coming in. And literally like, it took me like 9 months to save up all of that and lost everything in 1 week. So it just goes to show like when you do something that God doesn't want you doing, he can take it all from you in an instant. In literally a week. It's just the same week. I lost the 47,000 and got robbed for the 7,000 at the same time. And I remember just driving home. It was like me and my friend were just talking to each other, like completely thinking about, you know, what if we could have done this? What if we could have done that? And then we were just sitting in silence. Like we couldn't really believe it, you know? It was a pretty crazy experience. And after that, I still had the inventory that came in, and I knew I needed to make money because I had the car payment. So I had that $3,000 order that came in. I put 100% focus into everything. Like I remember my stomach dropped in this week when this happened. I was like, what am I going to do? I lost everything. What am I going to do? And that's the thought that I had was just no one's going to do it besides me. I have to do it because no one's going to get me out of this. No one can save me right now. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. I have no other option. And I just went my absolute hardest and made back like $30,000 in the next 60 days and then stopped doing it, stopped selling the nicotine vapes. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I know it's wrong. I still did it for 2 months after that, stupidly. But like I got out of it. And then that's when I started the next company, still doing something that I didn't fully believe in. So I was stupid and didn't learn my lesson fast enough. And that's when I started the company promoting the cannabis brands. And then ended up losing all the money from that as well. But yeah.
Did it bring a lot of stress and tension? Because I think that both businesses are a little bit shady.
Yeah.
Did it bring a lot of stress and tension?
A lot.
And was that also a part where you're like, I don't want to do this? Was that also a motivation?
The nicotine vapes brought a lot of stress and tension. The promoting the cannabis brands, not as much because it was legal in the United States. Like in Los Angeles and Washington State, it's legal. So yeah, so it didn't really matter. But I still knew like it wasn't long-term. It wasn't like a long-term business. You know, it's not something that I want to do my whole life. It's not like a career or anything. And I didn't believe in it. But it wasn't like a worry about it being shady, really, because definitely with the nicotine vapes. Yeah, definitely. I was like every night, dude, I would wake up with like cold sweats, like worried, because I was worried either, one, I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get robbed. Like people knew, you know, I was selling them whatever. So I was worried people would like try to break in and take my money or take the product, whatever. So there's like a lot of stuff. And I'm like a kid too. Like when I was selling these nicotine vapes, I was like 15, 16. So it was, you know, I was worried about it for sure. And then, you know, again, like being a kid going through puberty and everything, your emotions are like times 10. So everything was very intense, but not as much with the cannabis company, with the cannabis promotions. It definitely still just had that feeling of I don't want to do this because I don't believe in it though.
Yeah.
And you started the nicotine business because you saw other people doing it and you thought I can market it better, run it more like a business. Where did this knowledge came from?
I had just been studying business for a long time. Like, so I finished high school when I was 15. Mm-hmm. I switched to online school because I didn't want to go to regular school anymore. I just wanted to do online school and graduate early. I knew I wanted to be in business. I was like, I don't need to be going to high school. I don't need to go to college, but I didn't want to drop out. So I was like, found this online school where you could go at your own pace. And I signed up for this online school and just dedicated myself to it all day, every day for like 3 months and graduated when I was 15. And then after that, I was just focusing on learning about business. So I would spend all day sitting at my desk, like researching marketing terminology, you know, like figuring out what ROAS meant and all these different things. I would study ads. I would study business models online. Like that's when I was studying, you know, affiliate marketing, whatever else, and all the things that didn't work. But I would study all these different things and just try to ingrain myself in it and understand it more. And so like that gave me some aspect of understanding marketing, but I also just had this weird feeling of like I can do anything. So like even if I was completely delusional and I had no idea what I was doing, I thought I could. And so like seeing everyone else do it, I was like, I feel like I could do it better. And then I did. I think if you believe in yourself enough, it doesn't really matter. You know, you'll figure it out one way or another if you believe you can.
Do you think it's good to be a little delusional?
I think you have to be a little delusional. Everything that anyone has ever done was at one point not real, right? So like everything that's now seemed to be possible because someone's done it was at one point not done yet. You know, someone had to run a 4-minute mile. Someone had to build $1 billion business. and $1 trillion business. Like before there was $1 billion business, people probably thought that it's impossible to build $1 billion business. And now there's $1 trillion businesses. And before there was a millionaire, people probably thought it was impossible to be a millionaire. Before there was a billionaire, same thing. Before someone ran the 4-minute mile, same thing. And I think you just have to be delusional enough to believe you can do something. I also believe that every rule and limitation that is set on us was created by a human who's no smarter than us. And I think the only person that can set limitations is God, and God doesn't set limitations.
If we go back to the vape business, you were telling that you were motivated because you wanted to retire your mom, and at this point you made $70,000 a month, and you could get your family to go on a holiday and stuff. What did your mom say to you? Was she supporting it?
That was not from the vape business. That was from the promoting one. Yeah, the promoting one. My mom, she knew I was like doing social media promotions. She didn't know like 100% what I was doing. Like she didn't know I was promoting the cannabis companies.
Was she shady? Was she like
No, I mean,
suspicious?
she saw me like filming videos and stuff all the time. She knew I made stuff from social media. She was a little bit like confused because it kind of breaks your brain when you see someone make so much money so young. Because she's been like trying to make money her whole life, you know, like running businesses and stuff, and she's never made more than like $50,000 in a year. And so to her, she's like, "How the hell are you making $50,000 to $70,000 a month online?" You know, but she didn't really understand. You know, I mean, she understood, but she didn't know exactly what I was doing. So she wasn't like against what I was doing by any means because she didn't know. But I don't know if I don't know. She was definitely skeptical. Like, what the hell are you doing? But I think she just kind of ran it off as like, it's technology. And like, oh, I don't understand what technology is and like how people are making money nowadays. You know, like there's a lot of kids that make money online now, and there's so many different ways to do it. And I think everyone thinks when you first start making a lot of money online, everyone's like, oh, you must be selling drugs or doing something. But
was she supporting it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. She supported me starting my own business forever. She from a very young age, she told me, my mom is a big driving factor in why I'm delusional. She told me you can do literally anything. Like whatever you want to do, you can do it. And like if I ever wanted to do something, she would support me in it. So like I wanted to be a pilot when I was younger. She took me to like pilot classes. I wanted to be a scuba diver and like scuba dive. She helped me go scuba diving. She like took me to the ocean to learn how to scuba dive. Like anything that I wanted to do and that I wanted to dedicate myself with, she would help me do it. And she was in full support of it. She's always been very like, she's a very same thing with not caring about rules. She's like, you don't need to go to college. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to create in the world, you can go do it and create it. And like she helped me start that cologne business I told you about. Bought my first cologne from me. She helped me with all the kind of things that I wanted to do. Whenever I had a dream, whenever I had an idea, she would fully support me in it. So when I actually started my own business and was making money from it, she was in full support of me doing my own business. But of course, she didn't know what I was actually doing. So.
You said that people said, hey, you must have figured it out. And I can imagine that your mom would say the same. Did she see that you were not in the right place mentally?
Yeah, my mom has always been, she doesn't care about money that much. Like she, of course, wants money to be able to travel the world and make sure that she doesn't have to worry about money anymore. But she's very focused on, she believes in love a lot. Like just loving the people around you, having great character, being a great person. She's like, she tells me, she's like, you can make all the money in the world, but it doesn't matter. I don't care how much money you make. I care about that you're happy and that you're helping people. And so she didn't necessarily she definitely admired that I was making money so young and like talked to me about it, but she didn't really look at it like, oh my gosh, you have it all figured out, because she knew it's deeper than money. You know, so like my mom was one of the people that also like drove me to want to figure out more about myself and be more in tune with what I actually believe in and what actually matters, because I saw from her that I was like, man, I admire my mom a lot. And if she thinks that money isn't the most important thing, then there has to be something more underlying, which I think money is incredibly important. I think you earning a large amount of money is largely dictated by the amount of value you provide people. And if you're not making a lot of money, a lot of the time it's because you're not doing something that provides people a lot of value. And like, so it's not a bad thing to make a lot of money by any means. But if that's all you have, if you dedicate your entire life to only making money, yet you're like negative to people and you're rude and you don't love the people around you and you don't focus on helping other people, it's like the money doesn't matter. None of that is important. And so my mom didn't really care that much about the money. She was definitely grateful for it. She's like, this is amazing. We can finally travel and we don't have to worry about money every day. But it wasn't like it wasn't like she thought I had everything figured out, because she understood.
Right now you have the marketing agency you started.
Yeah.
And you also started teaching other people how to make money online, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I had to still run the marketing agency, still run Advanced Creative, and I wanted more people to be able to earn money online with purpose. Like because of my story with everything, it's like I think every man should be able to earn money doing something they love, work a job they love and earn money doing something they love, and then live a life they love. I think a lot of people work a job they hate just to make money, and then they use that money to go live a life that they still hate. Like most people don't enjoy their lives that much, and they don't enjoy their jobs that they're working to be able to support their lives. And I think everyone should earn money by doing something they love and go live a life that they love. And I think if you're able to earn money doing something you love, it's much easier to live a life you love as well, because they kind of tie hand in hand. I don't really believe in work-life balance. I think how you do one thing is kind of how you do everything. If you love what you're doing with work, you're going to love the way that you live, etc. And there's still hard times, of course, whatever. But I wanted more people to be able to earn money with purpose. And I wanted to help people do that because I had this experience and I've seen it. I've earned money without purpose. I've earned money with purpose. I've seen how much better it feels. I've also been broke and I know how much that sucks. So I was like, okay, I want people to be able to feel purpose and live a life of purpose. I want people to be able to earn money and support their family. I want people to be able to travel the world and earn money online and have the freedom to work from anywhere, because you can make a lot of money, you can have purpose, or you can work from anywhere. But like not many people do everything. Like a lot of people that work from anywhere, they don't make a lot of money. They make like a couple $1,000s a month. It's enough to get by. A lot of people that have purpose, they don't make a lot of money. A lot of people that make a lot of money, they don't have purpose. It's like, it's hard to have all of them, Mm-hmm. And I was like, I finally have all of them and it feels amazing. And I want to help more people feel this. And so we basically created an academy where we teach men how to make money online with purpose by creating their own creative agency, just like mine. And we give them all of our processes, our systems, our SOPs, everything that I've used to build my creative agency to where it is today. And then we help them set up their brand and everything. So like we help them build their own company from scratch and kick it all off. It's like we give them a full business in a box and help them start everything, give them the exact processes that I've used. And then we allow them to white label through our fulfillment team. Because when I started Vance Creative, like obviously it was something that I believed in much more. So I loved running it. It felt so much better finally doing something that I really believed in. But it wasn't like easy by any means. And it wasn't like it came with no struggle. Like even if you're doing what you love. People say you do what you love and you'll never work another day in your life. That is not true. There's still going to be days you don't want to do it. Like there's probably days that you guys do the podcast and you're like, man, I'm not feeling it right now. I'm tired. I don't want to do this podcast. That's part of it. You just have to make it through. Or like the editing process. You're like, I don't feel like editing right now. It's all part of it. And so when I was building Vance, like there was days where I would just work 16, 18 hours a day at my computer. And I was finally doing something I loved and I cared about it, but I did not want to be sitting there like as slave to my business is what it felt like. I had to work because I had to fulfill the stuff and I had to check on every single little project and handle everything. And it was such a process of building systems and building a team to the point where I don't have to do that every day and I can work from anywhere. Like even just until a few months ago, I still had to be local in the United States for the filming and everything of our ads until I built out a team that allows me to be able to do it from anywhere. So like now we're here in Bali and I'm able to have my team filmed a bunch of ads yesterday and I wasn't even there. I'm here in Bali. And I was like, okay, I want to help people have access to this too, because we can help guys start their own creative agency, but then they're going to be slaves to it and they're going to hate it. Because if you're making a bunch of money and you're living a life of purpose, but you're a slave to it, eventually you're going to start to hate that thing that is making you the money, whatever. So like, okay, we want to help people earn money with purpose, but also have freedom. And so we allow them to access our white label team, our fulfillment team, so they can sell their clients and they can have their clients for website design, logos, video ads, whatever it is, but they can use our team to fulfill it so they don't have to do all the work themselves. So they can still make money online, they can earn money with purpose, but then they're able to use our team rather than having to spend like 2 years like I did building the processes, building the team, everything. We like plug them into our team right away. So they basically already have all the processes on the front end to get clients, and on the back end, they have the help with the fulfillment. More like they're partnering with us than we're just like teaching them how to do it and leaving them on their own.
It's true. They're sort of the head of the brand and they build everything how they want it to be built.
Exactly.
And the work is done by your team. That's smart.
Yeah, exactly. So they get to run their own business. They run their brand how they want. They can fulfill the work themselves if they want to. We teach them how, but most people don't want to have to do all that work themselves, And then, our team helps them on the back end so they don't have to worry about all that process.
That's smart. Smart. How did you come up with that idea?
It's, again, kind of like the Amazon thing. You start with selling books, and eventually the idea formulates itself, So, like, we were like, hey, we should teach people how to earn money online with purpose because of my story. We were like, hey, we were like, oh, maybe we should allow them access to our white label team. And then just kind of over time it grew. It wasn't like an idea that we had in an instant that was already perfectly formulated.
Nice.
What's the most important thing you need to teach them when they come to you?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot, bro. I think
Top 5.
Okay. On the business side, you need to be different. You need to stand out. Everyone tries to do the same thing with business because they see what other people are doing. And yeah, if other people are doing it, it probably works, but there's enough of other people. The world needs more of you. And so your business needs to be different, and that's why people will buy from you. People buy from people, they don't buy things. They buy from you because they like you. And so be different, be yourself. That's all that matters. So if you can be yourself, you'll grow a much better business. 2, do absolutely amazing work, which is helpful because they have access to our white label team. So like they already know they're getting great quality of work because we've worked with hundreds of companies. We made thousands of ads. Like we have a proven system that works, so they know they're going to get higher quality work. But they still have to make sure that they're taking care of their clients and leaving a positive impact on people, which we give them access and like guides to do that inside the academy. But it's very important that you are leaving an impact on people. 3, how you do anything in your personal life is how your business is going to run as well. Your business is a reflection of you. And if you aren't focused on your personal life, your business is not going to be the best it can possibly be. So focus on your health, focus on your relationships, focus on how you treat people as a person and as a business and how you treat your clients. Because if you're a terrible person and you're not focusing on growing yourself every day, your business won't grow either. And your business cannot grow past the extent of what you are capable of as a person and as a leader. Those are the top 3.
That makes me think about, we've had a guy on a podcast, he's Dutch. His name is Martien Wijnen. And he coaches people to run their own business as well. And he also says, like, there's not just such a thing as work-and-life balance, or maybe there is, but you have to develop personally in order to make your business in order. That's his slogan as well. So
How you do one thing is how you do everything. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
How do you protect your purpose right now? That you make sure that you don't fall back.
You know, even just a few months ago, I had a period where I was like extremely focused on money. And I was like, I just need to make more money to be happy. And that's like what I was talking about earlier. It's never like a switch. Like you still make mistakes. Even after I've learned all of this, I still will sometimes make mistakes. And like a few months ago, I was just so focused on, I need to make this amount of money to be happy. And I started to care less about my purpose, care less about my character, care less about my integrity and my relationships and everything. And then I kind of snapped out of it. I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is stupid. Making more money is not going to make me happy. I already make plenty of money. Like, we'll create these numbers in our mind. Like, we're going to magically be happy once we get X, Y, Z. And that's just not the case. It's a journey. And I think the best way to protect it is to just, I think you have to do what you believe in. And like, whatever you feel like you should be doing, go do it. A lot of times if we start to listen to the world outside of us, it throws us off. Like I start comparing myself to other people or looking at what other people have to say, and that would start to pull me back into old habits and just distraction and consumption. When you're constantly distracted and consuming, you're not in touch with your own mind. I think if you can sit with yourself alone for an hour with no distractions, it's much, much easier to know exactly what you need to be doing in your life. You can just sit there for an hour, not talk to anyone, not check your phone, not have any music. Just be by yourself. It's going to suck for most people for an hour, and they're going to feel terrible. But by the end of it, you're probably going to feel like, okay, there's a lot of problems that I have in my life that I now understand, that I can figure out. And yeah, I think if you can do that, if you're ever feeling like out of touch with your purpose, just be by yourself and get in tune with what you actually feel. And also fasting. Like, I'm really big on fasting. So whenever I'm feeling out of it or I'm feeling kind of disconnected, I'll do a couple-day fast. And I feel like that always reconnects me. That's really good. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to protect your purpose, per se. Like, no matter what, there's always hiccups. There's always ups and downs. We're all going to make mistakes. Even now that I, like, have purpose and I live with purpose and everything I do, like, my whole point in life is I want to live with purpose. And I still sometimes do things that I feel like, oh, that wasn't really in line with my purpose, and I don't know why I did that. And it's just a never-ending reflection of getting better. If we were perfect, we wouldn't have any purpose to be on this earth. So,
Do you use these methods that you just named a lot? Like sitting in silence and fasting and...
Fasting, yeah, a lot. And sitting in silence, like, I pray a lot. So I don't really do, like, typical meditation. I don't just, like, sit there and meditate. But I like to pray. Every morning, every night, I pray. All throughout the day. If I feel like I want to pray, I pray. And you can pray to whoever you want, whatever you want. I don't care. Pray to your, like, meditation, in my opinion, is kind of just another form of prayer. So, like, whether you're religious or not, you can meditate. You can pray to whatever God you believe in. It doesn't matter. I think it all has the same effect, you know. And I believe what I believe, but it doesn't matter what other people believe. But I do fast a lot. Yeah, I love fasting.
What's your biggest goal right now in business and in life?
For the next 3 months is get 300 students in our academy. That is my, like, next 3-month goal by October 1st. 300 students in the academy, because I know that that is going to have the biggest impact on everything I do. If I can focus on creating content every single day and leaving a positive impact on everyone I interact with, sharing the academy and getting men in there, that is the highest leverage thing right now. Because if I can help 300 men live with more integrity and more purpose and earn money online, the amount of people that I'll affect from that is huge. Because in those 300 men, every single one of them is going to have a family, they're going to have friends, they're going to have their creative agency and all of the clients from that creative agency. So like, I'm affecting these 300 men, yes, but that's branching off into thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people through everyone that they're connected with and interacting with. And so that's the highest leverage thing for me right now, and that's what gives me the most drive.
Why men?
Because I understand men. Like, it's from my perspective. Women can do it too, 100%, but like, I don't know. I can speak for men because I've been there. You know, I've experienced it myself. I can't really speak for women. Like, so I can understand it more. Granted, like, if women agree with it and they relate to it 100%, they can do it too. It's not like I'm not sexist. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. But I'm not trying to, like, I don't understand how a woman's brain works the same way that I understand a man's brain because I am a man.
Aren't you still chasing numbers in some sort of way by saying, I need to have 300?
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's bad to chase numbers. I was actually thinking that when I wrote that goal down. I was like, does it really matter if I have like a set number goal? Like, I don't need to have set numbers. It doesn't really matter. But I was like, whatever. Like, I like to have specific goals because it gives you something direct to work towards. And if we end up getting 350 or we end up getting 250, in the end, it doesn't really matter for me. What matters is that I do the things to get to that goal every single day. So I set that main goal, 300 people by October 1st, is what I really want to do. But then I just broke it down into what I need to do every single day and every single week to get there. And as long as I do those things, I don't care if we get there. Because I know that as long as I'm doing those things, I'll end up exactly where I need to be, one way or another.
Are we there?
I think so. Do you want to ask
I introduced the podcast. I think it's your turn, man.
Then I'll ask the final question. Do you have any final piece of advice for the listener? In life or in business?
Don't sell vapes.
Yeah. Don't sell vapes, 100%. Do what you believe, not what other people tell you to do. Because, like I said before, every rule, every limitation, every idea that anyone has for you was created by someone no smarter than you. If something hasn't been done before, you can do it. It doesn't have to already have been done for you to be able to do it. Desire turns kings into slaves, and patience turns slaves into kings. You can be sad because roses have thorns, or you can rejoice because thorns have roses. And do whatever you want in life. Like, it literally does not matter. Everyone will try to tell you an opinion of some sort. They're going to try to tell you that you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to live some way. And if you try to live to please everyone else, you're never going to please yourself. You're always going to be at war with yourself. And I would rather be at war with the world than at war with myself. And so just do whatever you feel like you want to do. Live your life however you want to live it. And as long as you know that you're providing value to the world, you're helping people around you, and you're leaving the world a better place than you found it, and building something that you truly believe in, nothing else matters.
Nicely said. Thank you for being on this podcast.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Where can people find you?
My Instagram is Leaf Advances, Leaf, like on a tree, Advances. And my YouTube is Leaf Vance as well. And then our website is Advanced Creative Academy, advancedcreativeacademy.com.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
I would say,
much, bro.
Stay inspired, stay motivated, and focus on your goals.
Thanks for listening to Muscle Up, and see you in the next episode.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Of course.
Of course.
What are some of the biggest things you guys have? Like, for me, for the viewer, what are, if you're going to send them off with one thing? Because I like to learn from other people, and I want to learn as much as I can from both of you. I admire you guys.
You can start because I have to think about this one.
I'll also have to think about it. Like the one piece of advice?
What's something that you wish you knew 5 to 10 years ago that you know now? If you could tell your past self 10 years ago one thing, what would it be?
Go to the gym earlier.
Go to the gym.
No, for real, the gym has brought me so much. It has brought me self-development, peace with myself, purpose. It brought me, it was a chain reaction. But to make it more like, how do you say it, open for everyone,
I would say try everything.
Try everything. I like that.
Because when you're like in puberty, you don't really know what you want, and as you said, you don't really have a purpose in life. I think if you try everything and you find something that you actually love to do, then you create a purpose for yourself.
I like that a lot. I very much so agree. I think a lot of us like try two things. We're like, I have to do this for the rest of my life now because like someone tells us to do it or something, and or our parents do it or whatever, and now we think like we have to stick with it for the rest of our lives. But there's so many things out there.
True. Yeah, and when I say try everything, I don't mean go all out on everything. Just start small with something, see if you like it, and then if you don't like it, try the next thing. I mean, we started with this podcast with like little $30 Amazon microphones, which just went into the USB of my laptop, and we ended up liking it, and it ended up going well. So we bought this setup, but we definitely did not start like this. So yeah, just try everything, start small, and when you eventually like something, you can go all out.
I love that.
I think make sure that your room is clean and organized. Treat people how you want to be treated. Try to educate yourself and get your health in order.
I love that.
I think a lot of things will come from that.
I think that's great because you can kind of do that even if you don't have any like if you don't know what to do yet, you just start with those things and they'll get you in the right direction.
Exactly. It creates mental clarity, I believe.
It's amazing, bro. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Let's go.